and welcome to Tarot Tuesdays on Life Crystallized, where I use the cards to help you plan and prepare for the week ahead. The week that I'm going to be pulling for today is Tuesday, September 3rd through Monday, September 9th, 2019. And the deck that I'm going to be using is the Sun and Moon Tarot. Now, this is one of my favorite decks. I really love the images in this deck, and I just find that it really speaks to me. Now, the first card that I'm going to be pulling for, the intention that I'm setting, the question that I have in mind for all of us is, what can we do to work towards achieving our goals this week? What can we do to make progress on the goals that we have set for ourselves? Ace of Pentacles, reversed. What supports are available to us to help us reach these goals? The Chariot. What things could be in the way? What people or things or obstacles in general? What obstacles may we be facing this week that can hinder us and prevent us from making progress on our goals? Prince of Wands, reverse. And finally, what can we do to be of service to others this week? Ten of Cups, reversed. So, Ace of Pentacles, what can we do to make progress towards our goal this week? Now, in this deck, the Ace of Pentacles is a sphere with the seed of life or the flower of life pattern and a star in the center. And around the sphere, there are vines. Pentacles is a suit that is really about working and consistency. It relates to material wealth and prosperity, and it's the beginning of the deck. So really, that first card, that ace, is in any suit is related to beginning something. It's the beginning of the journey. So right now, what I'm getting, the energy that I'm getting from this card in terms of what we can do to make progress toward those goals that we have, is really getting started. Start putting in that work. Now, this Ace of Pentacles that I drew is reversed, so that energy may be blocked or diminished for some reason, which really makes me think that there may be a reason why we haven't started. So the energy that I'm getting from that is really that there's a reason why we haven't started whatever this project is, or whatever work we need to do to progress towards our goal. So that is what we need to be thinking about this week, and that is what we need to be trying to flip. We want that Ace of Pentacles upright. So what feelings, what thoughts do we have that is preventing us from starting whatever it is we need to start to make progress on that goal? So if it's to lose 5 pounds this week, but you haven't planned your meals, or you haven't started exercising, those are things that you need to do if your goal is to lose 5 pounds, right? These are steps that you need to take to achieve that goal. So if you're not taking this step, if maybe this has been your goal for a while now, maybe you set this intention last week, and last week you really didn't do these things. You didn't plan your meals, so you were eating out. You didn't exercise, so you haven't made any progress towards that goal. Why? Why is that? What is stopping you? What is blocking you from taking those steps, from beginning to put in the work that it's going to take for you to achieve this goal? Maybe your goal is to improve your relationship with your children, right? But maybe you haven't taken the time out to spend with them. Now, we just had a 3-day weekend for most of us. Kids were out of school for 3 days. Many people were out of work for 3 days. So that was extra time to really put in and do some family activities. That was extra time that you had to maybe take the kids to the park, to go see a movie, to go on a walk or a hike. So maybe, again, your goal was to connect with your kids, but you didn't really take advantage of the time that you had this weekend to connect with them. So what can you do in the upcoming week to begin to take those steps to connect with the kids the way you want to? The weather is changing. It's getting cold in a lot of areas. So maybe you want to take this week and the rest of the nice weather that we have to take the kids on a bike ride, to go to the park, to do some outdoor activities that you won't have much longer to do once the weather turns. These are things that you can do if your goal was to connect with your children more. So whatever your goal is, whatever it is you're trying to achieve, what steps haven't you taken yet in order to reach that goal? What supports are available to you in order to reach that goal, whatever your goal is? And that card is the Chariot. So we have a guy who is standing in a like a Greek type chariot. The chariot is being pulled by 2 bulls, right? This card is all about movement. So the Ace of Pentacles reverse, we haven't been taking those actions. We haven't been taking those steps towards our goal. The Chariot is telling us to get up off your behind and start taking those steps. Start putting in that work. Start taking those actions in order to reach your goals, right? The ability to reach those goals are there. We have everything we need to achieve those goals, but we have to put in the work. And the Chariot is really telling us to really get up off your behind and put in that work. Start taking those steps, start taking those actions, plan those meals, get on the treadmill, take the kids out, turn off the cell phones, the Facebook, the Instagram, whatever it is that is distracting you from focusing on the kids. Just do it. It's really that simple. What can be blocking us? What are obstacles that may be in the way of us taking those steps, taking action to do what we need to do to reach those goals? And that is the Prince of Wands reversed. So the wand suit is all about spontaneity, adventure, and really just kind of fun. It's about action, but more of a lighthearted, fun action. And the prince is kind of that teenager, right? In terms of the suits, in terms of the face cards, right? That impulsivity that we sometimes have, and really just leaping before we think, is not always the best course of action. So you can look at the Prince of Wands as really kind of a reckless teenager, right? They're drag racing on the highway. They are not buckling up. They're texting and driving, or they're experimenting with drugs or whatever it is, right? That reckless teenager, that kind of rebellious teenager, the typical or stereotypical rebellious teenager, that's the Prince of Wands, right? So what actions, what is it that you're doing that is like that rebellious teenager? So again, maybe let's go back to our losing weight example. So we want to lose 5 pounds this week, right? But last week we didn't plan our meals, we didn't exercise, so we figure, you know what, fuck it, we didn't do anything we were supposed to do anyway, so I'm just gonna go ahead and eat this slice of cake. You know what? I'm gonna have this bag of chips as well. And you know what? I'm gonna wash it all down with a glass of wine. So I didn't take the steps I was supposed to take to reach this goal anyway. So I'm probably not gonna reach that goal. I might as well enjoy whatever it is that my indulgences, whatever indulgences that I want to have, because I haven't done what I needed to do to work on this goal this week. That mindset, that thinking of I'm already so far behind, I'm never going to catch up, so I might as well just do what I want to do anyway, is really going to be your biggest obstacle to overcome this week. So how can you really change that thinking? How can you change that frame of mind that you're so behind and have such a long way to go that you might as well veer off course anyway? That's what you're going to need to focus on this week in order to make movement towards this goal, towards putting in those steps so that you can ultimately be where you want to be. And finally, how can we be of service to others this week, right? That is the 10 of Cups reversed. And in this deck, it's an image of a couple, a man and a woman, who are standing in a pool of water, and they are filling 10 cups. Again, this card is reversed, so the energy might be a little blocked. How can we help others this week? And that is really taking time to fill someone else's cup, right? So I want to go back just a second to the Prince of Wands, because the Prince of Wands was reversed, and in some cases it can mean that energy is blocked, which I felt was the case for some of these cards. For the Prince of Wands, I just feel like it's kind of the opposite. So that reckless teenager energy is really kind of heightened in terms of that energy being an obstacle for us achieving our goals. In terms of the 10 of Cups and that card being reversed, I feel like it's more connected to that reckless energy being amplified and really diminishing our capacity to fill someone else's cup. So you may be in a state where you're feeling like all hope is lost and you're so far behind, or you have so far to go, so you're kind of stuck and paralyzed and not really sure what to do. You're not really sure what actions to take, or maybe you know what actions to take, but you're stuck and you cannot begin to take those actions, right? So you may be indulging in self-sabotaging behaviors, particularly when it comes to your goals. And that energy, being caught in that cycle and kind of so wrapped up in what is going wrong, is really preventing you from being able to take a step back and look at someone else who may need your help. Who can you help? How can you be a blessing to somebody else? And sometimes all it takes is a smile when someone clearly looks like they're having a rough day. Sometimes it can be buying someone a cup of coffee or taking 5 minutes out to answer that call from that friend who usually has a problem, so you try to ignore them when they call. Maybe this week you take that call, you give that friend that time, and you try to help them through whatever problem it is they're having this week. How can you fill someone else's cup? And I really believe that doing that, and again, you want to be a blessing to others and help others just because it is a great thing to do. It's a very humane thing to do. It just makes us better people. But if you want to look at it in relation to what you're trying to do with your goals this week, really helping people and the feeling that we get when we do help people and when we know something we've done has blessed someone else, that feeling can really help put you in a better state of mind to be more ready to take those steps that you need to take to work on your goals. So that is what I have for you today. That is your read for the week. If you found that this message resonated with you, if you really felt that it was helpful and that maybe I was a blessing to you today, then be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Again, thank you for watching and have a wonderful week.